Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about safety here in Thailand. I've lived here almost 4 years and I can assure you Thailand is a very safe place. However, we're going to go over a long list of things that you should be aware of. Scams, how to be safe, things like that, some tips. So we're going to go over that, and the first thing we're going to start with is your general safety. Now, when you're walking around Thailand, the first thing I want you to remember is that your safety is your responsibility. Meaning everything, the infrastructure and everything in Thailand, this is depending where you're at, is not set up with safety first. Anytime you're walking, you need to look for potholes. You need to look for the ground not being even, construction not properly blocked off. I could go on and on about this. You're going to encounter all kinds of obstacles that you could trip, fall, or worse, all over Thailand. So if you're bringing kids, keep them very close and keep a watch out for them, because expect the unexpected when it comes to walking around in Thailand. As you are walking around the different areas of Thailand, also be very careful about traffic. Just because the sign may say that traffic only goes one way, look the other way. A lot of times the signs are just suggestions and people drive wherever they need to go, no matter what the signs say sometimes. So you need to be alert, and also when you're going across one of the crosswalks, don't think that everyone's just going to stop for you. You're taking your life into your own hands when you go across one of these. Make sure everyone's stopping. Keep a radar lock on these people to make sure that they're going to stop before you go all the way across. By the way, if you are one of the people who are planning on living here or staying in Thailand for a long period of time, make sure to go down in the description and check out our link for our step-by-step guide to moving here to Thailand. It will help you immensely. The next one's kind of a scam, but kind of isn't. So whenever you do rent motorcycles, one thing I want you to be aware of is they're going to rent you a motorcycle whether you're legal to ride one or not. So if you don't have the proper driver's license or you don't feel like wearing a helmet, they don't care. They're going to rent you a motorcycle, and when you get pulled over, you're going to say, well, they rented me the motorcycle, and the police officer isn't going to care one bit and will fine you, or worse, no matter what. So make sure you do get familiar with what you need legally to rent and ride a motorcycle before you just jump on it and do it. Now, there are some scams with the tuk-tuks. That's the fun little vehicle that everyone loves taking here in Thailand. I will say that I've only seen this one in Bangkok, and it happens all over Bangkok. It's like an epidemic there. In other parts like Chiang Mai, where I'm at, all the way up north, you will not usually have this issue. And that is, you tell the driver, yes, I'm looking to go to whatever location. And let's say, oh, great, but first I've got to stop here, or I need to stop over here. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to take you to areas where either their relative is running some sort of tourist trap full of souvenirs or whatever. They're trying to take you to the people they know to get you to spend money there. The last thing on their mind is taking you to the destination you want to go to first. And I have been adamant with them too. I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to go to where I'm paying you to take me. And they will actually argue with you to the point where, well, I just get out and say, forget it, and take some other mode of transportation. This isn't going to happen everywhere, but if that does happen to you, you heard it here first, and do with that as you will. You cannot drink the water here in Thailand, and I'm talking about the tap water. Don't drink it. You can brush your teeth with it, but I wouldn't swallow any of the water. I'd spit it out, of course. I brush my teeth with the tap water. I've been doing it for 4 years, but if you don't feel comfortable with that, please use bottled water. But drink, as far as consuming water, you want to drink bottled water. Now, if you're saying, well, is it safe in the restaurants? Yes, they're all using filtered or bottled water because they don't want everyone getting sick from their restaurant. Now, can I say that for every restaurant all over Thailand? Could somebody be using tap water? Yes. Maybe they're using it for their ice cubes. I don't know. Don't really come across that problem very much. I've had food poisoning or that kind of sickness maybe 4 times in 4 years. So it's not that common, but it all depends on where you're at in Thailand. How rural of an area are you in? When you are here, it's a good tip for you to have insurance while you're in the country. It's called travel insurance. There's a link down in the description here if you want to see and get a quick price on what it would be for your vacation or your long stay here in Thailand. It is very much worth it. So if something happens to you here, you're covered by insurance here. A lot of times people come here with no insurance whatsoever, and they're doing all these cool excursions or driving or, a rental motorcycle or something, and they get into an accident. They end up on some sort of GoFundMe because they can't pay their medical bills to get out of the country. And it's an easy thing and it's a cheap thing not to have to do. Just try the travel insurance. If you're curious as to how much it would be for you, go down in the description and check it out. Now let's talk about food safety. So stay away from places that don't look like they get a whole lot of business. Those are the kinds of places to where they may just use yesterday food again today. May not be the cleanest thing. Look for places that are very busy, that are constantly having to cook new food. They're constantly having to do the dishes and everything else. That is my tip for you to stay away from any sort of food poisoning. Again, doesn't happen a whole lot, but then again, I'm only speaking for the areas I go to. So since we're talking about the whole country of Thailand, I would say avoid places that look like they get little to no business. Some other things to stay away from here, unfortunately, is the jet ski rentals. This scam's been going on since the first time I've been here, which was 1990, and it's still going on today, where you take one of the jet skis out, everything's fine, they've got it rigged to where somehow it breaks down. You sign something saying if anything happens to that jet ski that you are responsible. So when you get back in, they're going to claim that you broke it, and it is going to be a nightmare for you. They've been running this scam for a long time. And for those of you who are in Bangkok, you're walking along the street, somebody is going to stop you and say, "Hello there, where are you from? Where are you going?" Just bluntly. I'm telling you, this has happened every time, well, most of the time that I've been to Bangkok. They will target me with this one. What they're trying to do is they're trying to befriend you, and what they will eventually do is try to show you these great deals on blue sapphires here in Thailand. So if anyone you don't know comes up to you and starts wanting to know where you're from, where you're going, just ignore them. If you are taking any sort of boat excursion here in Thailand and you don't know how to swim, make sure you are wearing your life jacket. The reason I say that, I get the Thai news every day, and there are lots of boats that capsize or sink as they're doing tourist excursions here in Thailand. And yep, the ones that end up dying are the ones that can't swim and aren't wearing their life jacket. So if you can't swim, you definitely want to have a life jacket on you at all times. Remember, here in Thailand, safety comes last. Now, one of the things I want to give you as a tip is watch the sun. There are a lot of tourists that come to Thailand. You are pasty white. You come here riding around on your rental motorcycle with all of your skin showing, and you are looking forward to a tan. And you will be burnt to a crisp because the sun here in Thailand is brutal, and it's really brutal. How brutal is it? Well, instead of wearing tan enhancer, you could really wear sunblock here in Thailand and expose your skin, and you will still get a tan and you may still burn. That's how bad it is here. So don't be one of those people who immediately get off the plane and they're immediately in the sun, and by day 2, you're burnt to a crisp and you're having to avoid the sun altogether. It will fry you here. You will find out quickly. Do keep in mind that there is a smoky season here in Thailand. It starts, well, about right now in January. February gets a little bit worse. March is unbearable. April is really bad, but it starts to taper off towards the end of April. So if you have any sort of breathing problems whatsoever, I would avoid Thailand. And if you have to be here during those months and you do have respiratory problems, I would wear one of the masks that protects you from all of the debris in the air. Nightlife safety. Now, Pickpocketing, things like that, very rare here, unless you're one of those people who go to where the nightlife is, you get drunk out of your mind, you're wearing a gold necklace, a gold watch, flashing around a lot of money, your wallet is easily seen in your back pocket so they know where it's at. You're just asking for it. If you're not going to do those things, you should do just fine. Just keep in mind, as safe as Thailand is, do not put yourself in that situation. My recommendation to you, if you do feel like you're going to go out clubbing and you're going to get drunk and you're going to be impaired, take some cash with you, enough to where if you lost it, you're not going to be, your feelings won't be too hurt, and put it in your front pocket, not your back. Now let's talk about the wildlife and how to keep yourself safe while you're in Thailand. There are soy dogs, street dogs all over Thailand. Leave them alone. Do not go up to them and pet them. I don't care if they're wearing a collar and they're in a public place. Leave them alone. That is when you will get bit. People don't normally go up there and pet them. Stay away. I've seen kids get attacked by them because the parents are oblivious as to what their kids are doing. The kids go up to the dogs because they're just laying there and look all cute, sitting in front of a 7-Eleven or at one of the temples. They will bite you. You will need to go to the hospital. You will need to be treated for rabies and everything else. So stay away from the street dogs. Look at them from a distance. And on that note, the monkeys you want to stay away from as well. Those monkeys are mean. And by the way, they kind of sense, they have that sense about you. If they know you're frightened from them and you're walking real close to them, they kind of jump out at you and will scare you half to death and maybe attack you. But I have noticed if you act like you don't care, you're not bothered by them, that they do leave you alone, strangely enough. But I would say stay away from the monkeys and don't let your kids run up there to the monkeys. You don't want your kids getting bit by one of those nasty monkeys. Now, if you do plan on going out into the middle of nowhere, Thailand, and you are using Google Maps, which is one of the best ways to get around here, and you think you're going to be out of range of the towers and your phone is not going to have any signal, make sure to download the Google Maps ahead of time while you have a signal. If you want to talk about a bad time, rent a motorcycle, go out into the middle of nowhere where Google takes you on the wrong dirt road and you end up in the middle of nowhere, and then you want to get out and your phone loses connection and you're just hosed. It's happened to me. Make sure you download the Google Maps ahead of time. Well, that's all I have for you right now. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. And if you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee. There's a link down in the description. We'd sure appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful time here in Thailand. And I'm going to end this by saying thank you in Thai, which is Khap Kun Khap.